Okay, so today I want to demonstrate how to use the transformation features on Desmos. So when you open up the program, the first thing it's going to ask you to do is to simply include a very quick check-in. So how are you feeling today? After that, press next, and it's just a checking in question. Is there anything that you would like me to know? Right? All of this is optional, of course. Then I press next, and we get into the actual work, I guess. So the first thing is it tells you that you're going to create a transformation, create a triangle on your grid, translate your triangle this many spaces. So a triangle and a translation. So I'm going to construct my triangle first by selecting construct followed by polygon. And it tells you pretty much what to do with that. So I'm going to randomly select a point here, here, and there. Now, nothing seems to happen until I go back to where I started. This finishes my shape. I press back, and now that I have my triangle piece, now I'm going to go ahead and see if I can translate. So, transform, define the transformation as a translation. So now that I have that, it says choose a point from where I'm going to start counting from. I'll start from here and choose a point where you're going to. Okay, so I'm going to go 5 spaces to the right and 4 spaces down. Okay, so that's what I want to do. So let me define it. Translation from here: one, two, three, four, five. One, two, three, four. And this is how far I want to go. So from here to here. That takes care of this. And then what I have to do is select the object and press apply. And there's my translation. I tend to do the same thing with the points. Click apply, click and apply. Now, once I have that in here, I provide information that basically, gives me a quick setup of what did you discover about this transformation. And then here for this question, I basically ask, you know, if X and Y is the pre-image, then what would be the coordinates for image one? Okay, how would they be written? All right. So if you look at the original set of steps, 5 spaces to the right and 4 spaces down, which of these would be the correct one? Suppose you say that this is the correct one, then please include why you think that that's the answer. So explain your thinking. Okay. Um, Everything that you choose is based on the information that was provided up here. When you're done with that, you press next, and you're going to find that you want to do the exact same thing, except that now it's a quadrilateral. You still want to translate. And for a quadrilateral, think of any shape like a square, rectangle, trapezoid, anything that has 4 sides. Okay. Then we press next once I'm done. And in this one, you're going to use something called the sketch tool. So for the sketch tool, what you want to do is, I usually use the line piece. And then it tells you that your pre-image, here it is going to be image one will change like this: +6, -3. So what that means is I'm going to count across a certain number and then down. Suppose I decide that my point is here. I know that's not the right spot, but suppose I click there. If I click like that and I set up just clicking my points, right? I select this and then I can have perfect dots. Then in order for me to connect it, I have to just click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. If I don't like what I see, I am always allowed to go back and erase it. So for this one, the program doesn't do it for me. I do it myself. And once you're done, you just write it down if you have any questions that you're still not so sure about. All right. Next. The next one is the transformation where you're going to create a triangle, but you're going to reflect it. Now, the steps for this is actually a lot easier. What we do here is we start with our polygon. We create our random triangle the same way as before. We transform. This time is a reflection because this says reflect, so reflection. And look at what it says, choose line of reflection. Okay, so here's my line. And now choose the object and apply. Choose the object, apply, and you can do that for all the pieces. And now you have a perfect reflection. Now, something that you should know about this reflection is that once you have it, if you decide to modify the shape, it because the rule said reflection, then it will perfectly reflect on the opposite side. So notice. And technically, if I go back over here to my translation, um, I can basically do the same thing with that object. And it will still reflect, or I'm sorry, in this case, translate the exact same amount. So any changes on the original will transfer over to the copy. So the pre-image and the image one are linked to each other. All right, last one. Here you'll do another reflection. Here's the new line. Another reflection. Here's the new line. And then here, just like before, you're going to draw your own reflection. Okay. Keep in mind that in this situation, I want the shapes. Well, if I do a correct reflection, my shapes should look like they're interlocking each other. So one meeting with the other. All right. Next, the final transformation I want to talk about is going to be a rotation. Now, here's the issue with this rotation. I want to start with a quadrilateral and I want to rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, so take a look at how I do that. I'm going to start with a quadrilateral this time. A quadrilateral simply means that it has four sides. And I go all the way around. There's my quadrilateral. It looks a little bit weird, but that works. I adjust it. And then I'm going to transform it, define the translation, the transformation, go to rotation this time. And here I have to choose the point that is the center. Well, this is my point that's the center. Once I pick that point, just like before, take a look at what it says here. This says 90 degrees. I am allowed to change that number, which comes in handy later. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my object and apply. And you'll notice that it rotated for me. If it's a little bit out of the picture, like I don't see all the details, I can adjust my picture now. I can see a little bit better here and see that this is actually rotating 90 degrees. And just like before, if I adjust the shape itself, then I'll see the adjustment on my picture. So I'll see the actual rotation and it will modify the exact same way. Okay. And then what did you notice? The next section is the same thing. This time you want to change it over to 180 degrees. So just kind of keep that in mind. And for this one, you're going to do a quadrilateral at 90 degrees clockwise. Now, here's the thing. There's a little note right here that tells you that in order to do clockwise, you're going to have to use a negative 90. So when you put the number, put it as negative 90, it will then rotate the other way. Okay. And in here, this is just a reflection, whether or not the lesson made sense. Please, I want your input. And how confident or unsure do you feel as a result of this? Okay. Let me know anything you like. And basically, these are going to be the steps for you to create your own proper transformation using Desmos. All right. Hope this made sense to you. Bye.